So I grew up in an area of Brooklyn called Bushwick, which was back in the bad old days one of the worst neighborhoods in the city, let alone the country. But my family's from Puerto Rico. My mom grew up in Arecibo. My father was from Ponce. I often tell people that my story is actually my mom's story. Um, Her family was so poor that they gave her away to a slightly better off family to work as a servant girl, and that family never let her go to school. She never went to the first month of the first grade. She never learned to read or write. Ended up moving to New York at around 18, lived in New York for like 60 years before she passed away in 2016. She learned maybe a dozen words of English. She knew how to say hello, how are you, get the heck out of my way. That was pretty much the extent of it. But she ended up having four kids. I was the youngest of four, three older sisters. That's a whole other story. But my parents divorced when I was 2 years old. So my mom had no other skills to fall back up on. We ended up on the welfare system. And that was a tough upbringing in a rough neighborhood. Times we were homeless, oftentimes we were hungry. But she was the strongest woman I ever knew. She was the one that taught me that when they tell you to sit down and shut up, that's when you need to stand your tallest and be your strongest, especially if you're standing up for somebody else.